Refused to give newlywed niece the down payment for a house. Etta? My M54 niece Sierra, F25, is an only child and she just got married about 3 months ago. My sister, F58, admitted to me that she and her husband paid over $35,000 for her wedding at a venue on the coast. They had to dip into their home equity for most of that money. My wife, F53, and I make significantly more than my sister and her husband, but we live well within our means. We do splurge on once-a-year vacations and paid for our kids' educations, but that's it. We even cap how much we're allowed to spend on each other for our holidays. When our children, M30, M28, F24, got engaged, we offered to either pay for their dream wedding or host their wedding at my parents' lake house and gift them the balance for a down payment on their own homes. About the lake house, my parents are deceased. My sister and I own it, renting it out most of the time and splitting the money. It's more than maintenance costs / taxes / fees, etc., but not much more. All 3 of our children took us up on the offer, so all 3 are homeowners. This kind of nuked our accrued savings for a bit, but we've built back up a sizable amount of since then, and we're glad to help our kids get a solid financial base in life. My sister told me she offered the same deal to Sierra, but Sierra wanted her dream wedding. I thought she was crazy, but she's not my daughter, so it's none of my business. Well, it became my business. Apparently, Sierra's been stewing over the last couple of months after my daughter and her husband hosted their first family 4th of July at their new home. It's not new, as it was built 40 years ago, but it's solid, has lots of room, a huge backyard, and my son-in-law has been working overtime with very impressive DIY projects. My sister told me Sierra had asked them for a down payment so they could get a house. After paying Sierra's college tuition / expenses and her wedding, they're tapped out. I had a feeling Sierra would show up on my doorstep, and that's exactly what she did. Sierra and her husband showed up with a cake. My wife loves cakes. She told us about their honeymoon, how she loves being married, and how much she looks forward to giving us grandnieces and grandnephews. The whole time her husband is looking more and more uncomfortable. As soon as Sierra said, "I just wish we could buy a house like my cousins," I just shook my head and said, "No, Sierra, we're not giving you the down payment." She just froze for a moment, then asked me why not. We had the money, and we could even make it a loan that they would pay back if we wanted. I told her I don't loan money to family members. If I put money in a family member's hand, it's a gift. Life is just easier that way. I reminded Sierra that my kids have homes because instead of blowing $35,000 on a dream wedding, they spent far less to get married at their grandparents' lake house, so the money they would have spent went to their down payment. I also reminded her that her mother offered her the same deal, but she refused because she wanted her wedding to be, in her own words, better than theirs. Most importantly, I said that I'm not going to disrespect my own children's wise financial decisions by rewarding her foolish decision. When she asked what was foolish, I said, all you were thinking about was the wedding. My kids were thinking about their marriages. Of course, this upset Sierra and she left in tears. Her husband apologized, but I'm not sure if it was because she was crying, they were leaving in such an awkward way, or if he thought Sierra was wrong. Anyway, my sister said that she agrees with me but said I'm a jerk because I was so blunt about it. I'll admit that I am blunt while my sister sugarcoats everything. For what it's worth, my wife, kids, and brother-in-law, Sierra's father, are in complete agreement, but the consensus does seem to be that it's not what I said, but how I said it. ETA, my kids joke that I'm as subtle as a sledgehammer. I guess that's why I'm here. Was being as blunt as I was make me a jerk?